hard to make this work as we start off the weather hit. Obviously, all you see is a green screen behind me, right? And I'm going to try to show you a graphic through the iPad, okay? So bear with me for just a minute. This is what we call working through adversity. And right now, you can see the radar right there. It's a little foggy. Bear with me. But there's some rain and there's some snow working across the area. It's very light, but that precipitation is starting to fall now and start to accumulate in parts of northwest Rhode Island, where we have a little bit of snow hitting the grass. The roads are mainly just wet, and we probably have to keep an eye on a little bit in the way of some icy conditions. I'm going to put this in motion a bit, and you can start to see the graphic itself start to make its way from west to east. So what happens is the precipitation itself will start to come to an end sometime shortly, and once it does, the biggest concern for tonight will be when we start to clear out and cool off the temperatures. And once we do that, it's going to go ahead and drop the temperatures enough where there could be some icy spots across the area that we are going to have to keep an eye on. Another thing that we have to keep an eye on is not just the storm for tonight, but obviously a lot of you have been hearing about the storm for Wednesday. And obviously that is the one that has more in the way of an impact in terms of snow. Even though we have some light precipitation today, this is like the appetizer before the main course. And eventually, after a dry day tomorrow, we're tracking the storm. We're going to try to get some graphics up for you so you can start to see some of the snow totals that we're forecasting. And I do think many areas will be looking at closer to 6 inches or more across the region. We'll talk more about the forecast for you coming up in just a little bit. Alana.
All right, Jeff, that's what you call improvising. Thank you. We'll see you a little later. Back to our coverage now of the coronavirus frontline healthcare workers at Rhode Island Hospital. The first people to receive Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine this afternoon. And we already had a look at the vaccines being unboxed this morning, 3,000 of them. In fact, they arrived at Rhode Island Hospital just days after the FDA, of course, approved the vaccine for emergency use. We want to get over to ABC 6 News reporter Amanda Pitts. She was there. She's live now from Rhode Island Hospital with the latest. Hey, Amanda.
Alana, it's been a long 9 months for healthcare workers, and those here at Rhode Island Hospital are breathing a sigh of relief today after being the first to receive that COVID-19 vaccine, marking the beginning of the end of this pandemic. The first person to get a COVID-19 vaccine in Rhode Island, emergency physician Dr. Christian Arbalez.
I am filled with adrenaline and happiness, and I'm thankful.
The vaccines showed up this morning, and the state's COVID-19 vaccine committee voted to get them into high-risk staff over the age of 16 ASAP, and that's what they did.
I can't even find a word to describe it.
Dr. Arbalez was first up, followed by Fernando Pyers, a 24-year veteran of the emergency department who works in housekeeping. Then it was frontline worker after frontline worker. Dr. Arbalez said he breathed a sigh of relief when he was in that chair.
It was a combination of being present at that moment and then taking it in, this historic day. And I think also, exhaling